All right. Hello, everybody. It's the Game Changer here. If you don't know who I am, I'm a barber. I teach people or I instruct in the art of cutting hair. Today, I felt like this is a special time. This is a good time to drop a how to cut your own hair video. I've been getting that request for a while now, and it's not that I never saw the point in it. It's just, it wasn't really what I did, but seeing the circumstances with a lot of people being at home and not being able to see their barbers, I thought this would be a perfect time to help people who aren't barbers. Like I said, usually I'm in the business of helping barbers, but I mean, I'm not against helping others. I made this video taking a few different things into account. I've seen a lot of great how to cut your own haircut videos on YouTube. I feel like a lot of them were lacking detail, especially catering to people who aren't barbers. And I think you have to modify the way you teach when you're dealing with people who aren't in the industry. So there's a few things I want to point out. So before I start cutting my hair, I'm going to do a few talking points. I'm going to hit on a few things that I feel are important. First off, we know that you learning how to cut your hair isn't going to derive you or take you away from cutting from your own barber. I mean, this is just a maintenance program. Who knows how long the quarantine will be into place, how long we're going to be in lockdown. So I just thought, hey, let me teach some good maintenance tips. I will show you me cutting my own hair, and I will break down a lot of key points, but I understand that you're not leaving your barber. For the stay-at-home moms, I get a lot of moms, hey, I got 4 or 5 kids, I would love to know how to cut their hair. This will help you too, or people who don't want to go to the barber shop. I feel like this would be a good overall, all-around video. A few things to take into account. So I'll show you my clipper setup. I have about, let me make sure I'm in focus. I do have quite a few professional grade clippers, but that won't do you any good because I'm pretty sure you guys don't have 5 or 6 pair of clippers. Now, what I will do, the main 2 clippers I'll use, they are professional grade, but they aren't as expensive. One will be the Walls Magic Clip. It's a cordless clipper. You can get a corded or cordless. It's about 60, 70 bucks, but it's a really good clipper. It's strong, very lightweight, something you can purchase or invest in, and it'll come in handy. The second clipper will be the Slimline Pro. That'll be my edger, the trimmer, what I do my outline with. Also a very inexpensive clipper for the quality that it presents. The clipper's about 60, 70 bucks as well. It's a smaller, lightweight, but very strong edger. And I might use my Andes Masters. It's about $100, but it's a good clipper as well for fading. But those will be only 3. I won't use my other high-end clippers. I've seen people use those clippers, which to me it makes no sense because you're not gonna go out and purchase those for this situation. So that's clipper setup. I'll show you how to use combs and the benefit of using a comb versus a brush while cutting your own hair. And in this tutorial, I'll actually be giving myself a taper fade. Might do another tutorial doing a drop fade, but I'll do it step by step because I know more people will be comfortable giving themselves tapers or lineups and tapers versus doing a full-on drop fade or bald fade, which is the baldness all the way around. So took that into context as well. So a few different things. You have to understand your hair texture. You have loose curl patterns, very tight curl patterns. You have to understand your hair. When you understand how your hair works, then you understand the pressure that you need to apply. So if your hair is thicker, you can apply more pressure on the clipper itself, and I'll go through that more in detail as I cut. If you have thinner hair or a looser curl pattern, you don't want to be as aggressive because there's more of a chance of you taking more off. So the lighter your hand on thinner hair, the better. So another thing I recommend, so if you haven't had a haircut in a while, I haven't had a haircut in about a month or 2, one thing I recommend is to wash your hair first. So what happens is when you wash your hair first, so let's break it down. Hair works, but when you're cutting your hair, you're doing 2 things. You're taking length off and you're manipulating the hair. Water is the best manipulator of the hair. It's a universal solvent, which means most things dissolve in water. In this case, the hair actually tames itself. It's tamed in the water. So if I was to hop in the shower and wash my hair will revert back or go back to its natural state. So that's what I want to do. When I'm cutting my hair, I want it in its most natural form. Another tip that you can do, I won't do it, but you guys can do it to really help. If you have a long hairstyle, or if you haven't cut it in about a month or 2, when you wash your hair, actually brush it as you wash with shampoo. What that does is that actually lays your curl pattern down. So a wave is nothing but a compressed curl. So my hair is naturally curl. I have tighter curls. So when I brush my hair in the shower, it actually lays the hair down, which will give me an easier cut, which will look better as I cut it, which will make me feel more confident that I'm doing the right thing. All right. Another thing, so last talking point, you have to go into this with confidence. There's a few different things that are dang near foolproof. If you listen to this video and do it the right way, you will not gap your hair. The guards will protect you. That's what a guard is. National Guard, Army Guard, soldiers, there are guards. Same thing with clippers. These are the guards that protect me from taking too much off. With that guard, I'll only cut it down to whatever range that guard goes to. So if I have a 1 on, I'll only take 1 inch of hair. I'll only leave 1 inch of hair on. A 2, I'll leave 2 inches of hair on. Now, how do you determine which guard is best for you? So when most people go to the barbershop and they're cutting their hair off, they say I want wavelength. Now wavelength depends on the thickness of hair. With my thickness of hair, I could do it 1.5 because I have more hair. My hair is very dense. Thinner hair, the bigger guard you need. So for someone who wants their hair to be the same length as mine, at a 1.5 or a 1 would probably need to go up a half a guard or a whole guard size. That'll benefit them more because of the density of their hair. Also, there's such thing called going with the grain and against the grain. So if I go with the grain, that means I'm cutting my hair in the natural growth pattern. I'm cutting my hair in the natural pattern that it grows. So the top of my hair grows towards my eyebrows. The back of my hair grows towards the nape of my neck or the bottom of my neck. The sides of my hair grows towards the temple, and as we go back towards the center, it goes down towards the top of my earlobe, okay? So that's with the grain. You can cut the hair with the grain, just make sure that you take your time and be careful. Against the grain is a much easier cut because you'll get an even look because you're actually cutting the hair against the way it grows, so those blades are cutting the hair even. So you don't have to worry about thickness in certain areas. Yeah, everything else we'll discuss as we cut. So you guys stick around. This will be a very good video. I believe it'll help you out a lot. Okay, so let's get to it. All right, so these are my clippers. The majority of my clippers now. The clippers that I won't be using, or I won't be using my FX, my Gold Babyless FX. Those are more of a higher grade clipper, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys won't have that at the house. Also, won't be using my Babyless Gold. Now, the clippers I'll mainly use are these two. This is the Walls Magic Clip, and this is the Slimline Pro. I might use this as a very good fading clipper as well, and like I said, it's reasonable. You guys can purchase it at your local Sally's or any beauty supply store. You'll need a comb, and a wide tooth comb depending on how long your hair is, how thick it is. And this would be a good thin tooth comb. A comb is very, very vital. And then a brush. Brush is for usually after you cut it down as you're styling your hair. You'll also need some antiseptic. Now, if you guys don't have any antiseptic, you can use alcohol. It works just as well, 70 proof. This is the gel for when I use the razor at the end. And these are guards. Another brush as well, round brush you can get from Kroger, Walmart. That's where I got that one from, Kroger actually. And these are my guards. Pardon the missing 2. This is a 1.5. This is a 2. This is the 0.5, which is half a size smaller than a 1. And this is the 1/16 as well. This is for the masters. All these clip guards right here, they go on the magic clip, so they'll work great on that. All right. And also, you guys will need a mirror so you can see the back of your hair. All right, so let's go. Right now, my hair is dry. So when you go to the barbershop, you want to go with your hair washed, or when you cut your own hair, since that's what we're doing, you want to wash your hair first. You want it to be clear of any debris, dirt, dandruff, or any product, but you don't want to comb your hair dry. So I'll lightly spray a little product, a little shea butter, because I don't want my hair to break off when I comb it. So you can use water. Water will dry out eventually, but for the time being, it'll be pretty good. So that's why I just use a little product that'll hold, just a little bit, that I would comb my hair. So it's very important that I comb my hair before I start. So what happens is when you cut your hair and you don't comb it, your hair doesn't have proper spacing. Your hair is clumped in groups, right? That's whether it's been maintained with waves or whether it hasn't been cut or touched in a while, it's gonna clump. So since I don't want clumping, because I don't want to gap my hair, then I want to comb it first. I want to comb it in the direction that I'll cut it. You don't want to brush, because what brushing does, brushing clumps the hair as well. A neater way, but it clumps it as well. So, like I said, remember, waves are nothing but compressed, clumped together curls that are in a nice, neat pattern. So I want to comb it all the way out. I want to lay that hair in the correct laying pattern. After I do that, I'm pretty satisfied with that. Now it's time to cut. I have my hair combed. I use the water end because my hair hasn't been combed in a while. I've been kind of just letting it go. So a wide tooth comb prevents me splitting my ends or breaking my hair up. All right, so now it's time to start cutting. So for this look, I want a nice wave length. So what I'll do is, you can always start with a half a size bigger or a size bigger on the guard. So what I'll do is, I want a nice wavelength, so I think I want a 1.5, but I'll start with a 2 just to see what it takes off. Now, when I lay these clippers down, this is the flat back end of the clipper, right? This is my head. I want to run it really flat across my head. Now you can do it this way, but I'll take more off neater if I run it this way, real smooth. All right. So I have my 2 on. All right. So now I'll go. Now you guys can put a towel on or a cape, but you know, I always like forget it, whatever. Might as well rep the logo and my brand, so kept the shirt out. All right, now very nice and neat. You want to try to keep the eyebrows down, because what happens is when I have my eyebrows up, now I'm manipulating my scalp. I'm causing raises in my scalp, so I want to keep my eyebrows down. All right. So another very important thing, never get discouraged by how it's looking as you cut it down. See, right now my hair doesn't look as smooth, but you got to remember I haven't had a cut in a while, so my hair is laying natural still, even when I cut it down. Now, when I put some water on this thing after I'm done with the cut, laying it down, after I edge it up, you'll see the transition. So right now we just cut it down, very smooth. We can take our time. And I'm kind of liking this length, but I might want some more off, so very carefully. For you guys who might have thin spots, when you go over those thin spots, now, remember I told you if you lay it flat, it takes more off. When you lift it, it takes less. Same thing on this side over here. All right, now when I get behind the ear, I just pull it down and I use the corner of that blade. I can go back or forward. So I like the length of this, but I might want to go down. And sometimes those edges are curled, so they still stick up. Don't worry about them. When it's time, we'll get to that. When those edges curl away. I mean, when they don't get as low as everything else. Now I would use the mirror. Remember, comb as you go. Don't brush. Comb. Okay, so I'm actually liking the 2. So I have to remember, I have to visualize what the hair look like after I lay it down. And this would be a nice, smooth look. So, and I'd rather have too much hair than have to cut it down when I'm done, if I don't like how long it is. So I always rather leave too much than too little. All right, so same concept with the back. Now, when it comes to the back, this is where the mirror comes in handy. Now I could have bought my barbershop mirror, which is a big, nice mirror, but realistically, you guys are probably not gonna have that at home. So double-sided mirror in the back is dirty, the front clean. So cheap little mirror you can get from the beauty supply store, or you can get from Walmart, CVS, wherever. It all works the same, right? Because you're just using it to focus on one part here at the back. You lean into the mirror some, you find your spots, you look at everything, you recomb. I comb a lot, right? That's my readjustment. So probably put a little too much sheen in there, but it's all good. All right, then I comb it and I just look. Now, same process. I hold my comb in my hand just to watch. And so I'm finding the center. I want to make sure I have a good visual. Good clean mirror here, good clean mirror there. So the crown is very important. You got to study your crown and see which way it grows. Sometimes you can put a bigger guard on if you're not really sure. And then you go smaller guard, because when you cut that crown down, you will see the growth pattern. See, my crown grows here, there. See that? Same process. You have to study your growth patterns. Growth patterns is the way your hair grows. Then when I get to the crown, I make the go. So I lift my lever back. So we'll talk about levers, but I pull my lever back. And I slowly hit that crown. Slowly hit the crown. There we go. All right. So what a lever is. The lever is on the clipper. The lever is always closed, you take more off. The lever is open, you take less off. So that's kind of how you work your range. Even with my guard on, some areas, if I have thinner spots, like I said, open the lever. Thicker, more dense areas in my hair, I'll close the lever, same guard, okay? So now that I have my hair cut down, I'll look at it. So there's two things you can do here. You get to take a break. After you cut the hair down, you can take a soap and rag, put it all over the hair, then put a hot rag that you still put in the microwave for about 15, 20 seconds and steam that hair down. Make it more manageable as you cut. Or you can wait to the end of the video to do it. So I'll probably wait to the end of the video. It's time for the taper fade. When I taper, now that I got my hair cut down, I can use a smaller guard now. I want to comb this. A taper is a fade on the sides. I'll do a low taper where you fade this side out, okay? So what I want to do now, take my edger, put my primary line in. Now, have my primary line. That's my primary line. Now, primary is my main line, my first line. That's where the whole fade will come back to. Now it's time for my secondary line. This is where I blend this is where I'll blend the skin into the hair, my secondary line. Well, the primary line is where I blend the skin into the hair. The secondary line is where I blend, where I'm making it more manageable, right? The easier my workspace, the easier to fade. Now I can fade from here, but it'll be more difficult, so we want to work on the easiest method. Secondary line, I open my clippers, my lever all the way up. Right? And now I do a fading motion. Now I don't want to go too high. So this is where you want to work on your skill at, right? I don't want to just be stiff hand. I want to rotate my wrist back. Rotate my wrist back, right? That's how I get the C motion. Boom, C. This is the C. I start down, work back. Takes time. If you don't feel comfortable doing it without a guard, throw a guard on, right? Throw a guard on to make that line. You can do a low, I'm gonna say a little low taper. It ain't gotta be nothing fancy, just a nice little low taper. So now, this is where we debulk. Debulking is what this is called. So what debulking is, basically, D means to take away. Debulk, take away the bulk. Bulk is thickness, right? When you buy something in bulk from the grocery store, you're buying a thick or a thick quantity of. So I want to debulk. It's easier to fade hair when it's thinnest. Repeat, the thinner the hair, the easier fade. If you watch any of my other tutorials, you'll know what I mean by it. You'll hear me say that a lot, but yes, the thinner my workspace, the easier it is to fade my hair. So to debulk, what I'll do is put a bigger guard, like a 1.5 on, right? So now I'm debulking. I have my secondary line right there. Primary bald, secondary light. Now I'm debulking. I'm gonna go a little higher, and I'm thinning it out. All right. Now, mind you, when I lay this all down, it's gonna be smooth. All right, debulk. When I get behind the ear, so that I don't take too much off in this area, I'll use the corner of that blade. There we go. Debulk. See, remember we talked about earlier those curly ends that don't want to lay down? Debulk that way. See, now my workspace is thinning out. Now what I want to do is put a smaller guard on, and I'll go with the grain. So I'll take my, and you always want to clean your clippers every now and then to get all the hair out of there, because they cut better with least amount of hair in there. Now debulking with the grain. Lightly, very light, and the clipper's not flat, it's laying here, see? I'm just thinning my workspace out. Thinning that workspace out, right? Even behind the ear, see? The hair is thick and patchy, so I lay it down lightly. It's very important to stay confident through the process. Don't expect your hair to look great already. I mean, it takes time. My art teacher always told me, you can't see the greatness in the picture until it's done. You can be happy with your artwork and it may look like crap, but if you step back and look at it from whole, once it's done, you'll see the beauty in it. So now I can use my brush because my hair is thinner now, and I want to start laying the hair. This is why I want to train my hair. I haven't had a haircut in a while, so now it's time to train and manipulate my hair. Remember, it'll work better if I was washing my hair, but I mean, I'm gonna show you guys. It still works the same because I put that shea butter in there, so my hair still has a little bit of lubrication in it. All right, so now I use my round brush to brush it down. So I'm just still debulking. All right? Or I can use a small tooth comb. All right. So now what I want to do is tackle that first line I put in there. The primary line, the very bottom. So very lightly, light strokes. You can do this. I promise you can. Remember, all I'm doing right now is just debulking. When I put the bigger guard on, I'm debulking. Let me rephrase that. So now, I'm about to work the secondary line, which is that higher line. And if you have to, always check your points. So if you find yourself start getting a little cross-eyed, all you gotta do, take the mirror and start to look this way. Remember, at this phase, you can definitely brush quite a bit. But we just want for a nice cleaned up, a nice taper look. So as you can see, my hair is still thick right here in the front. I can comb this out. I can go a half a guard size down. I did a 2, so I'm taking a 1.5 now. I'm just lightly hitting them edges. To lay it down, what I'm gonna be using is I'm gonna be using hot water, rag, and black soap. Black soap is a great soap. It's natural. We have like the legit natural stuff. It's you can get it online, or you can get it from like an African store. They sell it. The benefit of black soap is to get the skin clean. It'll suds the hair up and it'll help it lay down, but it dries you out. It dries your hair out, dries your skin out. So I always recommend using some Shea Moisture, curl enhancer smoothie, some almond oil, something natural, or something natural. I didn't say Shea Moisture was natural, or something natural to lay the hair down. So that way you can put the minerals and nutrients back in your hair. But right now I'm getting the water ready so I can go ahead and lay my hair down. All right, so I take some black. So all I do is take some black soap, put it in my hair, warm rag, with some water. And now I'm just gonna brush through my hair so I can lay it down to get that finished nice, smooth look. So when the cut is done, then I'll just take a warm rag and I'll lay my hair down. So before I start the back, I'll let my hair dry. I don't want to use a blow dryer, so what I'll do is use a dry towel and dry my hair as much as possible. But that taper, now I'll get the finished look as I taper my hair. But for the size, once I pull this black soap in my hair, I'll see how my hair is gonna lay down. All right, so now with the warm rag, I wanna pull all that soap out my hair. Kind of see if I like the length. If I like it, I'll keep it. Now again, I'll check it again before I edge it up. All right, so while my phone was dead, my camera was dead, I went ahead and did the other side. So let's show you guys how we do it. So first you have to lay your edge up. And so I know my edge up's thin spot here in the front right here. And this side grows higher than this side. So I usually don't recommend pushing back, but I also want to even the edge up, right? It's more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So what I'm gonna do, and the reason why we haven't tapered the back yet, so the reason why I'm edging, sometimes when I'm cutting my own hair, I like motivation to keep going or to push through. So to see a closer finished product on what I've already done, kind of keeps me going, to be honest with you. So what I do is I want to use the corner of my clipper. You have to trust the clipper to do what it does. And I stretch the skin. So what I do is, I know this is excess hair based off my other edge up. So what I do, use the corner, take my time. Take the turn, C motion. Alright, see that? This is where I have my initial line in. Now I want to hit the front of my edge up. So what I do is I comb it down, right? So I want about a 90-degree angle. Again, I know it's thinner here. I want to push it back, and I also know I want these corners to match. So about here, give about a 90-degree angle. You know, 90 to 75 degrees. Obviously, this is not geometry, and it's not going to be exact, but you want a straight box. You don't want it too far back in the corner. You don't want to push back, and you don't want it leaning to the inside. All right. So just take your time, adjust your hand placement. I find that this is easier for me to hand place here like this. Now look from the front. I want to match it up evenly. Now, I know my edge up is round. I don't want to push it back because the way my head is shaped, I don't want to use. So you have to know your edge up. Don't try to go for what you see on social media, TV. Everybody's edge up is not the same. So there's no such thing as a perfect edge up. So go with what's best for you. So I know with mine, I'll start here in the middle and I'll pull it down. All right. Or I can just use that corner, take this off. Again, I want the 90-degree look. So that's just how I initially put the edge up. I have to do if you don't want to. You can continue to work at it with your edges, but I love to use my razor. Now I'll tell you how to use a razor. It's not difficult. Using a single blade razor is not difficult at all. I have more, like when I've tried to use the multi-shaving razors, I have more trouble with those than a single blade. It just takes patience. All it takes is patience. The more lubricated the skin is, the easier it is for the razor to slide. And the less chance that you'll nick yourself. I've nicked myself a lot, it happens. So what you do is you just stretch the skin. I stretch away, and I follow what I did with my clipper. Just like that. Edge up takes time, ain't no rush. And like you guys, just take your time. It's you at home by yourself. You just want to like, my suggestion, don't try to shoot for the super crispy edge up. Just get it nice and clean, nice and neat. Like I said, you're not trying to replace your barber. You just want to be nice and neat doing the, you know, the zombie apocalypse. All right, so now that we got the fade in there, same, take it lightly, hit the soap. I'm not expecting you to have your beard perfectly faded in, but so you can put a guard on and just hit the bulk out. You don't want the beard to look chunky, so just lightly hit it. Be lighter at the bottom, more aggressive and firm on the top, all right? I pull away from the razor, so I pull it away. If I'm going this way, I pull by my nasal cavity, my nose, light, 45-degree angle. Get the excess off right there, boom. Same thing, pull away, technique. So maneuver around the fingers, see? I can see. I'm using the smallest little spots just to see. Here we go, boom. The reason I blow my cheeks out, the jaw contours in. Now, unless you got super puffy cheeks, you might not have to do this technique, but to make it even for me, I blow it out. Blow. Right there, nice, neat, how we look. All right, so fun fact about myself, I never cut the back of my hair, ever. I never tapered myself, I just don't see the point in it, I don't even edge it. But for tutorial purposes, I know you guys probably want to be fresh in the back, so let's get it. Start with a primary line, I want to even the back off. With the nape of the neck. Put me a hard line in there. There we go. I want to find a comfortable place for my eyes in the mirror to see the whole back of my head. So once I got a good primary line in, it was get my secondary line. If I got a good secondary line, what I do is just to make sure, just brush the hair away. See, I always study. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna debulk. And instead of using my comb to get that excess, I'm just brush. I'm gonna just rake it with my clippers. It's a bigger guard, so it'll be good. Debulk them sides with the grain. See, I'm combing down with the guard instead of taking my time to pick the brush up, what you can do. Break it down, like we talked about. So now I want to get that primary line, the very first one. Once you got the fade in pretty decent, what you want to do is, I'll put an edge on it. The reason why, when you put the edge on it, it helps shows you your mistakes, so it might want to hit again and fix. So this is where you gotta trust your weak hand. Be very gentle. Keep it far out. Something else you can do to get a better view, sit on the counter. It'll help you get a nice look. The closer you are, the better you can see, the better view you have. Now I can check my work. Now I can see little details I need to hit. Okay, when I edge up, my taper. Again, we just trying to make it neat. We want to be good, but we're not trying to overdo it. One thing I learned when I first started cutting hair, the more you try to perfect something when you're learning, the more chances you'll take in messing it up. If you get a nice smooth taper on this, let it be. Let it be, trust me. All right, so now it's time for some cleanup. Put the mustache if you want to, it ain't necessary. But you know, bottom. Be light on the top. Just a little cleanup. Again, this is just the cleanup. This is a good maintenance video. So in case you guys want to look good for the end of the world, the apocalypse, Tinder, new Tinder profile update pic. I really don't know what you guys doing that y'all need a new haircut, but hey, I mean, it was requested, so I did it. I hope this was in-depth enough for you. I hope I answered every question. If there's anything that you guys didn't get that you need to get, comment, let me know. Shoot me a DM on Instagram at dwight04. But yeah, I don't want to hear. Don't say I was talking too much because this was a tutorial and instructional that needed deep detail. I know a lot of you guys don't know anything about going deep, so I'm sorry. I just needed to give good detail. And what else? Yeah, I hope that was informative. Let me know if you have any more questions. Game changer out. Like, subscribe, share. This is a great video to share because this is the time we all need a chop. Again, I don't know why, but hey man, it's just, I guess it's self-appearance. See you soon. I appreciate you guys, and game changer out. Look at that, I had some waves under there. Just a little bit, you know.